Hi guys, my name is Denise. Lighting that. I have a website called doesnt.org, and I also represent Latinos for Medical Freedom. Our website is latinosformedicalfreedom.org as well, and I have a YouTube channel, The Informed Mama. I want to talk to you guys about meetings with representatives and what happened today with my meeting with Susan Eggman, who is my representative in Stockton. And let's just talk about the behavior that we have seen within our elected, let's keep that in mind, elected representatives. I'm going to let some people jump on because it's, I get a little bit shadow banned. But if you did not, I'm going to start with the bill. So the reason I made an appointment to speak with Susan Eggman today was in regards to SB 276. What this bill does is it interferes with the doctor-patient relationship. So we will have bureaucrats getting our children's private medical information, medical records, and putting them through a system, different tiers of systems, to decide who deserves a medical exemption and who doesn't, essentially. So against the better judgment of our doctors, so for medical exemptions, we go into the doctor with genetic testing, with family history, with medical records, and our doctor will then decide, is it beneficial for this child to continue to receive vaccines, or is it better for this child to abstain from vaccines because of their already in place chronic health issues? So I think we can all agree that doctors and parents should be making the decision on what kind of medical procedures to do with their children. All of us can agree on that. And all of us can agree that people who hold chairs, people who are in our government, who actually get monetary donations from the entity that they're passing bills for, should be disqualified from holding that chair. And questions should start arising on what is your investment in this, because it's not health, it's not protection of our children, as we see with Lorena Gonzalez. She went into a park and she had norovirus. Her whole family had norovirus, and she went to a swearing in for her husband, or whatever it was for her husband, and she went to a park and she did family pictures, and then she says that she's trying to protect children who have cancer, right? Heart transplants is what the commercial was. These representatives do not represent California. They also do not care about children in California. If they did, then people who are sick should be staying home just in case. So what this bill also does is it puts our children on databases. So it's going to put them on an unsecured database that goes between schools and public health. And what we've seen already many, many times before, like credit card companies, they get hacked. It's not going to be that hard for someone to expose our children's medical information, our addresses, our doctor's information. It's not going to be hard for them to hack into the system and get that. And what we're seeing, and I did this little packet, but I took it back because it was a waste of time for me to go and talk to Eggman. So I had this little packet. We have it on for Latinos for Medical Freedom. So it has our manifesto, why we were created, and all that good stuff. So it's in English and in Spanish. And Eggman really panders to the Latino community. She really says that she's trying to do what's best for Latinos and for farm workers and for children. Let me just remind you guys the email that was sent from the LA Times. So what this is, I'm going to read it to you guys. I can't even say her name, but I'll give you her email address. She's from the LA Times, and she sent an email to the Sacramento school district, and it says, "To whom it may concern, this is a request under the California Public Records Act. I am requesting the following: information related to medical exemptions for required immunizations for students attending schools in the Sacramento City Unified School District. For each medical exemption, I am seeking the name of the medical professional who signed the medical exemption, the date the medical exemption was signed, the expiration date cited in the medical exemption, the school name for the student with the medical exemption, the physical condition or medical circumstances cited in the exemption, which vaccines were exempted, and to be clear, I'm not seeking the name or address of the students or the guardians in this request. My preference is to receive the responsive documents via email at soumay@latimes.com. So this is a letter that was sent over to the school districts. So what they did is they sent it to the legal department of the school district, and then the school district sent it to the schools saying, I need this information so I can respond. So essentially they were acting like it was a subpoena. So this is a database that they want to put our kids on. This is an unsecured database that they want to put our children's private information on, and our doctors. So where the hell are the doctors at? Because parents, moms, dads are fighting this bill to protect you doctors, your right to decide what kind of care that children should be receiving. So I also gave her the letter from PIC to the medical board. In here, I also have the article from La Prensa. Because if you go onto their website, you'll be able to see all the comments on the bottom from Spanish speakers who have no idea what this article is about. They have no idea what's happening in California, yet these people pander to the Latino vote, right? They pander to us. They say, please, please, please vote for me. We are for immigrants. We're for farm workers. We're for your children, while none of them are actually listening. So I went, oh shoot, where's my paper? I had a meeting this morning with Susan Eggman. She's in Stockton. And as soon as I got there, Miss Eggman sits like this and says, I'm not going to discuss this bill. I'm not going to state why I support this bill. So let me just say, as a constituent, I went there to discuss this bill and discuss my concerns as a parent in California, as a parent who's in her district, as a voter who's in her district. And she had me speaking to the wall. I was literally standing there or sitting there talking to her, and she's like this the entire time. And I said, what about this bill do you support? Multiple times. And she looked at me, she said, I'm not discussing it, but you guys can. So I had her staffer, her assistant, and Eggman just sitting there staring at us while her staffer starts talking about measles. Well, we have the statistics that, well, the adults were the ones who were spreading measles. Oh, but still, there was still a pocket of kids. But the adults are the ones who are spreading measles. So but this isn't about vaccines. This is about politicians and bureaucrats practicing medicine without a license. So for you guys who are in Stockton, I have a list of the schools that they're concerned about. So if you are listed in this school, I'm going to read them off. Please contact me. My email is theinformedmama@gmail or at protonmail.com. Please email me because I'm working on something. So the schools with an MMR immunization rate less than 95%. This is important to know because they say that they're going to target schools that have a less than 95% vaccination rate. They are only looking at the MMR. These schools do not have they do not have a low vaccination rate. They're missing one vaccine. One, which makes them unvaccinated. So the schools are John, I don't even know if I should be saying this online. I'm not going to say it online. If your child goes to school in the Stockton area and has a medical exemption, please just email me and I will we'll work on this. So this is the frequently asked questions that they gave me. this is focused on, oh, this is great. So does SB 276 undermine parental or physicians' rights? No. SB 276, parents will continue to have the right to seek exemptions, and physicians will continue to have the right to issue exemptions whenever there is a medical necessity. So let's talk about that. On the bill, SB 276, it says one complaint, that doctor will not be able to write a medical exemption until that doctor is cleared. One medical exemption and they get flagged, that's it. 5 medical exemptions, they get flagged and they get investigated in 1 calendar year. What happens to doctors who are trained in neurology or cancer or any other ailment that these children have, and they have to get exempt? That doctor is going to be flagged after 5. What if your child was the 6th one? This is a blatant overreach of our government, and the way that Susan Eggman acted during a meeting with constituents is alarming. We have Lorena Gonzalez cutting off our mics saying, I don't play. We don't want to hear about your children's perceived medical conditions. And then we have Susan Eggman who says, I'm not even going to talk about this bill. I don't even want to talk to you parents about this bill. This bill affects our children. This bill is about our children. So they should be listening about our children. This is what politics is. This is dirty money. This is blood money that they're getting from the pharmaceutical companies. Lorena Gonzalez got about $171,000 from pharma. Senator Pan got $95,000 from pharma. How much does Susan Eggman get? This is something that we're going to have to look into, because they're put on notice. We put Lorena Gonzalez on notice, and the one thing that Susan Eggman doesn't understand, Stockton is pretty small. There's about 300,000 people here. I will go door to door in every single person in her district's house and let her know what she is doing. Let her know that she does not represent California. She does not represent Stockton. She does not represent the constituents that put her in office. I wish her luck with her next election. So I ask you guys to, if you are in Susan Eggman's district, please email me at TheInformedMama@protonmail.com. If your children go to Stockton School District or any school in Stockton and has a medical exemption, please send me an email and I will absolutely work with you on a project that I'm going to be doing. This is not a California for all. We have people, this is a sanctuary state. Like, this is a sanctuary state, right? They pride themselves that we're not going to tell the authorities about your citizenship status. However, the people who are concerned with this bill, who do not have citizenship, they have reached out to us and said, I am scared to talk to my representatives. I'm scared to go to the Capitol because of my citizenship status. Is this a California for all? Is this what you, Susan Eggman and Lorena Gonzalez, want to align yourself with? Do you want all the Latino and the Black voters that you pander and you hope to get their vote? Do you want them to know that you don't align with us whatsoever? You want to take parents from the poor communities and you want to force them into a medical procedure. Because let's remember, doctors who accept Medi-Cal and Medicaid, they don't write medical exemptions. Doctors who do accept their insurance, they will never genetically test. They will never, ever write an exemption for you because they'll get flagged. They don't even want to write one because they'll get flagged. So what makes you think that they're actually going to continue that standard of care and do what's in the best interest of their patients? These children who are being targeted have 504s, IEPs. These children are going to be booted out of school. Parents are going to have to quit their job, which is going to mess up the economy, greatly mess up the economy, because I have no problem going door to door and telling people what's going on. We're at the point of grassroots, boots on the ground. This is not a vaccine bill. Just think about if this is what if it was your issue? What if my Second Amendment people find out that Susan Eggman wants to take away your guns, and she wants to make sure that, or she wants to keep glyphosate in your school? Once it becomes your issue, you're going to be very concerned about how these representatives treat you as a constituent and what kind of money they're getting. That's dirty money. This is dirty, this is dark money being spread from person to person, and they want to align themselves with other representatives. Susan Eggman wants to align herself with Lorena Gonzalez. They'll go down together because they forget we are going to vote them in, we are going to vote them out. I will go door to door if I have to. Good luck on your election, Susan Eggman. So if you are in Stockton, please email me, TheInformedMama at protonmail.com, so we can start getting started. And I'm going to reach out to every single one of my alternative media and my opinion pieces and everything in my power to do to make sure that constituents, taxpayers, are not treated the way I was treated today with my other women who went. This is tyranny. If once you have an elected official telling their voters, I'm not even going to talk to you about this bill, there's a level of corruption happening. The reason why they are there is to represent Californians and to represent their constituents and to do what's in the best interest of California. All the while, they have it right here that they are trying to mimic West Virginia and Mississippi. So just because you're not in Stockton doesn't mean it's not going to come to you. It's going to come to every single state. So I hope you guys start getting involved. Again, if you're in Stockton, your children go to Stockton, to a school in Stockton. If you are a constituent, please email me, TheInformedMama at protonmail.com, because it's time to start putting these representatives on notice. And I will go to Susan Eggman's district office all the time. She's now going to be in Sacramento. So I'll do what I need to do. And I hope that you guys understand that this is not about vaccines. This is about the government telling you what kind of treatment that you should be giving your children, even against your doctor's consent or advice. So that was it this morning. I guess I just have to get back to boots on the ground and grassroots, because these representatives are not representing us, not one bit. It was incredibly disrespectful and out of alignment with sitting there with your hands crossed saying that you're not going to answer anything. That's not how politics is supposed to work. So I hope that you guys start getting very angry and realizing that these reps, they're not here to listen to you. It's time to show your teeth. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.